Real Madrid attempting to hijack Manchester United's deal for Matthias de Ligt. Mazraoui says yes to Manchester United, but what will happen to Wan-Bissaka? These are some of the stories we will be discussing on this evening's show. But before we get into that, please smash a like on this episode. Let's try and see 1,000 likes. And if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe to the channel. I'm live every single day at 8:30, 1:30 and 6. So if you want to keep up to date with all of your latest Man United news and talk, make sure you get involved. Everyone is welcome. Right, let's start the show off by talking a little bit about Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So just to be clear, Wan-Bissaka has gone on the tour, but it does look like he's going to leave the club this summer. So at the moment, it's West Ham and Galatasaray who are the main two contenders for his signature. But there is also Inter Milan who are sniffing round, hoping to do a swap deal involving Denzel Dumfries. I know a lot of the fan base are a little bit unsure about Dumfries. Some people are saying that they don't think he's better than Aaron Wan-Bissaka, which is an interesting conversation. And obviously, you can let me know whether you think he is in the comment section below. But in my opinion, personally, I think Mazraoui, who we're going to talk about in a minute, is a better option. I think he is more of the suitable player that we need, more suited to our style. And obviously, he's worked with Erik ten Hag before. And I think if we want to get the best out of our players, a player who's worked with Erik ten Hag before makes a lot of sense. And I know some people are like, oh, before you know it, it's just going to be an Ajax team and all the rest of it. If we start playing a good football, I don't really care, to be honest. Like, I just want to see Man United play good, attractive football, like what Erik ten Hag did when he was the Ajax manager. So whether they're from the Eredivisie, whether they've played under Erik ten Hag before, that doesn't bother me, as long as they're the right person for the job and as long as it works. But you can let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. But going back to Wan-Bissaka, apparently West Ham submitted a bid last week, but Aaron Wan-Bissaka said he doesn't want to go there. So it's a little bit of a strange one, but it does look like he will leave the club this summer. He's only got 1 year left of his contract. Manchester United don't want to give him a new deal. And I think Wan-Bissaka has accepted the fact that, you know, he's surplus to requirements. He is the backup to Dalot, whereas he could go to a Galatasaray, he could go to a West Ham, and he would be the starting right back. So, yeah, Wan-Bissaka leaving looks like an imminent option. And then as a result of this, Manchester United are now advancing in a deal to sign Mazraoui from Bayern Munich. This story was crazy. So Florian Plettenberg, who obviously reports for Sky Sports in Germany, reported at about 2 o'clock this afternoon that the West Ham deal for Mazraoui has broken down, fallen through, and Manchester United are now attempting to hijack the Mazraoui deal. The deal is worth £13 million, which for a 26-year-old with heaps of Champions League, Bundesliga, obviously national experience for Morocco, like he's a quality player, Mazraoui. But obviously there's the injury concerns, which I think worry and upset a lot of the fan base. And I'm sure you're sat at home as well this evening saying, Mazraoui's injury prone, isn't he? He missed X amount of games last season. And I hear it, I do. But for £13 million and as a backup option, I think he'd be a really, really good signing. And the news that we've just got in the last couple of minutes is that apparently Mazraoui wants to join Manchester United. He wants to return to play in an Erik ten Hag team. And apparently he has said yes to Manchester United. Personal terms aren't expected to be an issue, which is always good. The only thing I would say, though, with Mazraoui is he is on quite high wages for somebody with the injury record that he has. He currently earns 130 grand a week at Bayern Munich, which obviously isn't a vast amount of money, but it is still quite a lot. To give you a bit of a comparison, Wan-Bissaka at Manchester United earns 90 grand a week. So Mazraoui's earning about 40k a week more than Wan-Bissaka. I still would get him, though. I think, you know, the fact that Wan-Bissaka's got this 1 year left, you've got to move him on. And I think the Mazraoui would be a solid replacement, especially as a backup. You know, as a starting right back, I don't think Mazraoui is maybe suitable just because of his injuries. If he wasn't injury prone, great. I think you could start him. But yeah, I'd have no problem with him being the kind of backup option to Diogo Dalot. But obviously, you can let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments below. Mazraoui apparently said yes to joining Manchester United. So that's definitely one to keep an eye on, and definitely one which I think will progress over the next couple of days. But the big story that I wanted to talk to you about this evening, and this is obviously caught me by surprise as well as quite a few other people. Apparently, Real Madrid are going to try and sign Matthias de Ligt. That's what's being reported on multiple different outlets this evening. I don't know what to think about this. I mean, obviously we know that Real Madrid are looking for a centre-back. Obviously we know that Real Madrid wanted Lenny Yoro and they didn't get him. Some journalists are trying to spin this narrative that Real Madrid want to get Manchester United back, but I don't really buy that, to be honest, because if Real Madrid wanted Lenny Yoro, they could have got him. They just didn't want to pay the price. So it's not really like we've messed Real Madrid over. You know, like Real Madrid would have got Lenny Yoro if they'd have paid the money that we had. So I don't really believe in the whole, like, you know, they want to spoil Manchester United because of what they did to Lenny Yoro. Like, I think that's rubbish. But apparently Real Madrid are looking to hijack the deal for Matthias de Ligt. Apparently Real Madrid are going to offer 40 million euros. That's what's being reported. While Bayern are demanding at least 50. Manchester United have currently offered 35 million. So, I mean, I think de Ligt at Real Madrid would probably be pretty good, wouldn't he? Do I think he'll end up there? I wouldn't be surprised. I really, really wouldn't be surprised, because obviously we had the story earlier on today that Fabrizio said that Manchester United will never pay the 50 million euros demanded by Bayern Munich. So we're still a pretty long way away from, you know, the amount of money they want, which is 50 million euros. We're on 35, and Real Madrid apparently willing to offer 40. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. Would I be devastated if de Ligt went to Real Madrid? To be honest, I wouldn't. I think there's loads of other options out there. We'll talk about one of them in a minute, but it's one to keep an eye on. And it's obviously something that Manchester United need to get on top of, because if they want de Ligt, they need to go and get him now. If they're willing to let him go, then go and sign Antonio Silva. Go and sign David Hanko. Maybe you put in a bid for Trevor Chalobah. I don't know. There are plenty of other options in that centre-back position available at the moment. And I don't think that Matthias de Ligt is the be-all, end-all. You know, I think if Real Madrid want him, I reckon they're welcome to him, personally. But let me know. Do you think that, you know, Manchester United should kind of push ahead now and go for this? Or do you think, you know, we just leave Real Madrid to it? I'm still kind of trying to get my head around this whole narrative that's being spun, though, today, or in the last couple of minutes from these journalists, that Real Madrid are trying to seek revenge, apparently, on Manchester United. I just think that's rubbish. Why would Real Madrid want to seek revenge on Manchester United? Real Madrid probably feel sorry for us. Like, I just think it's crap. It's some journalism, obviously, just put these stories out just to, you know, cause hysteria. But yeah, so apparently Real Madrid want either Matthias de Ligt or Schlotterbeck. So those are the two options they're looking at. And they are apparently going to submit this bid of 40 million euros in an attempt to hijack Manchester United's proposed deal for Matthias de Ligt. So obviously I'll keep you updated on that one as we go on. Obviously the backup option we've got is Antonio Silva. Apparently he's available for around £42 million this summer. Just turned 20 years of age, Portuguese international. Had a really good first half of the season at Benfica, but the second half he was a little bit rusty, let's say, and he had a pretty poor Euros, to be honest. But I still like Antonio Silva, and I think for £42 million, it would be a good deal. Again, the problem Man United find themselves in is we have lots of players we need to get rid of. We don't have that much money, and we're trying to do clever deals where we pay deals over like a 3 or 4 year period, like we did with Xerxes and Yoro. And it all just depends on whether Benfica or Bayern Munich or whoever it is that we buy a player off, PSG for Manuel Ugarte, it all just depends whether they want to agree to our terms or not. So obviously I'll keep you posted on that. But I'm going to wrap the video up there. It was just a quick evening roundup to bring you guys the latest breaking news. Please make sure to smash a like before you leave. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. And let me know your thoughts on this Real Madrid hijack for Matthias de Ligt. Do you think it's them trying to get their revenge, or do you think this is just rubbish? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. This has been Daily Red Devil, and I'll speak to you all on the next one. Bye for now.